Hello YouTubers, this is OpED TMS and I wanted to put together a brief piece on the new Argo Mole ship. I know I'm a little late to the party, but I had the opportunity to take it out for a spin the other day and have some thoughts on it that I thought might be useful for people considering pledging for the ship. The Mole itself is a neat ship and aesthetically makes you think of a ship designed to get work done. Whenever I look at it, I think of a combine harvester that you might see gathering wheat or barley in the heartland of the United States. The vessel is what you would expect from a mining ship. No frills, just the basics. It is billed as a multi-crew ship, and I would advocate that it is exactly that. From my experience on the ship, I would say it absolutely requires more than one person to operate it productively. Until CIG comes up with a mechanic for hiring NPC crew, this ship would be an inefficient and arguably frustrating vessel to use for solo content. What do I mean by this? Well, the ship has 3 independently operated mining lasers. None of these lasers can be utilized by the pilot, so when I did attempt to use the ship on a solo run, I spent a fair amount of time moving back and forth between the laser turret and the pilot's chair. I was mining asteroids in space, so when they were fractured, they tended to drift away. If they moved out of the area of effect of the turret, I would have to exit the turret, return to the cockpit, reposition the ship, and then go back to the turret to extract the material. All of this requires moving up and down a ladder in the case of the front-mounted laser. The ladders in most ships can be troublesome to navigate, frequently causing issues trying to get on or off of them, or falling off and potentially incurring injury to your character. All of this takes extra time away from actually mining. Mining on a planet surface gives much the same experience. The main difference is that the rocks have one plane of movement removed when they are cracked or in some cases explode. This can be beneficial in the fact that the rocks can't travel very far. However, this can also be bad since the rocks can find themselves all clustered and inaccessible. This leads to the same troubles as before, where you will need to leave the mining chair and return to the main cockpit to reorient the ship. Additionally, if CIG ever changes the hover mechanic in atmosphere to require fuel, the fuel expenditure for hovering the ship to get to certain rocks may come into play. Something to consider, but not a major issue in the current build. Notably, the ship does have more cargo space and is outfitted with a size 2 mining laser. The larger lasers make mining take less time, and the increased cargo capacity decreases the amount of trips needed to sell the material. This is, of course, in comparison to the Prospector, which is the Mole's main competitor. I think this was lost in the inconvenience of having to constantly transition between the turret and the cockpit, though. I did encounter a mineable boulder on Daymar that I could not fracture even with the Mole's larger laser, and having an extra laser would allow acquisition of these lucrative resources. Unfortunately, we are talking about flying this ship solo, so the other 2 lasers must remain idle in this scenario, leaving the potentially high-paying resources inaccessible. So if you want to have the option to do some mining, and you're in an organization, or have some friends that are planning on playing Star Citizen, I think the Mole would be a great addition to your fleet. It will add group gameplay to mining, and with a coordinated crew, could increase the profitability of it. If you are a solo player and want to access mining, I would hesitate before you pledge for this ship. Unless CIG adds NPC crew members before persistence, this ship will not be worth the nuisance in my opinion. So did I buy the Mole? The answer is no. I had pledged for an Orion back when it was first announced in 2015. That seems so long ago these days. Had I not pledged for the Orion, however, I probably would have opted for this ship over the Prospector. I intend to play with a small group of org mates and shouldn't have too many issues crewing this ship once they all start playing. So bottom line, if you have some friends that you think will enjoy mining, by all means pledge for the Mole if you want to support the game. If you intend to mostly play solo and want to experience mining on that scale, I'd stick to the Prospector. Either ship will be purchasable with in-game credits at launch, so you can hold your decision until then too. Well, that's my 0.02 credits on this ship. Thanks for watching. This is OpED TMS, signing out.